All right, guys, here to talk about the movie The Scorned. 2005's The Scorned, Lee. Had you seen it before?
I somehow missed this one.
So this one here is special. In no way that is good. It is a movie that is made entirely of reality stars. So there's not an actor in this movie.
What?
Every one of these people is like, oh, I'm from Big Brother. Oh, I'm from Survivor.
I didn't know what was wrong. This is like one of those puzzles where like the riddle is so obvious, where it's like, wait, I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, the main character's like from The Bachelor. Like there are no, like this was a cash grab if I ever saw one.
Hilarious.
And I didn't look into this at all, but I heard that the whole making of this movie was designed to be a TV show about the making of a horror movie. I don't know if that actually happened or went through.
Okay.
It is 2 discs that I didn't look into, so maybe the bonus features is that shitty show.
No more, please. No.
But this movie is, I'll say, fantastic for a group watch. It is some of the worst of everything you could imagine.
No. We're getting like it just gets its like fingers over the lip of like, is it a movie kind of?
Yeah.
But in a way that like just exaggerates the failures.
Oh yeah.
I'm still reeling from this new information you've dropped on me that it's just like random reality. That explains so much and also raises new questions.
Yeah.
I don't have answers.
But you also would have thought, like, with that kind of a plug, you could have raised a good amount of money and potentially done something.
All that money went up some producer's nose.
Yeah.
There's none of it on the screen. It's perfect.
Oh yeah. No. There's a lot to talk about this. If
10 out
you've
of 10.
seen it or don't care, false over spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of The Scorned. Lee, unload.
I feel scorned about this. I don't know what to tell you.
At least it opens in a way that makes you not think anything else is going to be. Like, you know exactly what you're getting into. It's this, like, poor distance shot with overlaid dialogue that is just god-awful.
The exact opening.
Oh,
yes,
yes.
I made note of that.
So how have things been with you and Matt lately?
Well,
Where I'm like, wow, we finished our movie and we realized A, it's pretty short, and B, no one knows what the fuck's going on.
Come on, Raina. It's probably just pre-wedding jitters.
I love him so much.
So let's take some B-roll where they're just lit against like the sunset and dub in a bunch of dialogue to get us caught up to where we gotta be. And then those aren't even the fucking people the movie's really about.
Don't worry, sweetie. Your happily ever after is just around the corner.
It's about some other people. Okay, yeah.
Honestly, there's nothing in this movie that, like, makes me think they knew what movie they were making. Like, the tagline is something like, never fuck with a dead woman scorned or something like that. And I'm like, she's not even dead.
She's not even dead.
You sick bastard. She's like in a coma.
Oh, don't worry about that. That's just reflexive brain functions, that's all.
And hang on, if we're going to talk about this at all, we have to address this amazing sequence that is the woman going into the coma in the first place. It is this slow motion, weird fight where I do not know what's happening. And I never rewind. I rewound 3 times.
Holy shit.
To watch this fight sequence. Because this woman picks up a, like, fire poker, which seems to be in the middle of nowhere, and like, you watch her, and because of how it's shot and how zoomed in it is, she seemingly hits her own self in the neck. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And then later they show the scene again, not in slow motion and a bit wider. And I guess they were trying to hide this, like... Like, now let you know who did it. But there was only 2 people there. Like, there's no one to, like, so who are you hiding it from?
Okay. Okay, absolutely. This is the only thing I don't have a problem with, and let me tell you why. Because this was their attempt. I've never seen the original. You know. There's some old, I think, Japanese movie, the Rashomon thing, where they show the same thing from different like perspectives, right?
Okay.
This is their attempt to show this fateful night, but at first it's like ambiguous, and there's digital smearing slow-mo and all this bullshit. It's like
awful.
it's like a slideshow with like the sound doesn't work, and it's a mess. Whatever. And then, like you said, people tell the story throughout the film.
Yeah.
But it's from their perspective, where like one or two things are different, but all the rest of the footage is like the same, which just makes it extra. Because they had to like cut.
They didn't like film it twice. They just tried to use that footage to get two perspectives.
Because somebody would like do something, and they would cut to like the next thing. And like last time you saw it, you saw a little more of that first shot, which implied something else, but like not in a good way, not well done. It doesn't work. It's very confusing.
Yeah, it was just like, what is happening? Especially, there's multiple scenes in a row that are the opening of the movie that make me go, what the fuck is this garbage?
What really happened that night?
How could you do this?
Oh, yeah.
And like, it's who front end loads a movie with your worst shit possible?
Oh, honey.
Raina. I'm sorry, Raina.
Oh, Adrian.
Like, honestly, get money, film it again, because it doesn't work the way you have it here.
Without any of that footage and raise a little money to refilm.
Yeah, like your shtick here is that you have all these fucking famous people in quotes. That were on these reality shows. And like 3 of them get naked for you, and I'm like, you did that for this?
Yeah.
Oh, sweetie, you thought you were gonna have a career. What are you doing?
Why would she? As our wedding got closer.
That is really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about that, because like, maybe I think in 2005 it was still kind of like too late to even put sex in your movie and have it matter. Maybe getting there. Certainly by 2010 we were already done with this. But yes, out of place and weird, often not even sexy.
No, just like, hey, you shower, I'll stand here.
Seth, I didn't think anything could be worse than your old apartment.
Jen.
Yeah.
Our house has no electricity. That's fine. How do you live here? Like, there's a line where the guy's like phone is dying. He's like, I can't charge it. I'm like, how did you ever charge it?
Please hold.
No, I can't hold. My phone's about to die.
Can you plug it in?
Well, I would, but there's no power, so I can't charge it.
Like, what are you telling me? Like, you go out of the house and you charge everywhere you go?
Went to the Apple store and was like, I would like a charge, please. And they go,
one charge, please.
Here you go, Mr. Simpson. Yeah.
One art, please.
It's
I don't know.
like, and that doesn't like work for like they're not being powered isn't something that like that helps the movie somehow.
No,
it to me just means like we don't have lights and we can't make this look good.
No,
what can we say? There's no power.
I saw you struggling, and I'm glad that you got there on your own, but like, yes, that's the point, is like, when you're told something like that, we don't have power, what the fuck, we still don't have power. The like landlord guy, who's the guy from the intro and you didn't even know, oh my god, it's such a fucking thing.
We're renting your beach house, just came to drop off the rent.
Oh, yeah, great, thank you.
Right, that guy's like, yeah, that happens, they'll fix it, but it's like not even, it's like,
he never comes into play for anything.
Like you would think that he's just pretending, that he's like, oh, I actually just didn't pay the bill because I need there to be no power because the ghost
something
or something, right? Or like in the climax, like of the film, he's set this trap and it's critical that no one be able to contact anyone or like leave, and that's he has the advantage. Because
nothing in this movie really lines up. It's like, oh, you were a struggling actor or whatever, and you were dating someone who was getting to be more successful than you.
So, once again, your show's more important than my movie.
No.
My first movie.
That's not what I'm saying, but I mean, come on, baby.
and you murdered her, but now somehow you still own that house and own a different house and rent these houses because you've become a big success now for no reason.
You're a director?
I do a lot of things. I prefer to call myself a filmmaker, actually.
You've ostracized the woman who like kept this murder out of the public eye for no reason.
This isn't over.
Oh, it is over. Unless you're coming home with me tonight.
And that's Trishelle, the girl that was in that ninja movie we did, the cheerleader ninjas.
You were supposed to come for me.
What the hell are you doing here?
It is!
Cat moves that so upset them. Deny their candy. I will frustrate them.
It was you!
Somebody knocked me out! And you know what? It was you!
What the? So like looking at her, so like part of it too, because I was looking, I'm like, oh, this one chick looks kind of like Sarah Michelle Gellar, and this chick looks kind of like Anna Kendrick, and this person looks kind of like whoever. I'm just like picking like, oh, you're like a poor man's like a poor man's Skeet Ulrich, and it's like that's not a thing. Skeet Ulrich is the poor man's Johnny Depp. It's like like I was getting that vibe, but yeah, I didn't recognize literally anybody, nor would I ever know because I don't watch any reality things or whatever.
I didn't watch. The only one I'd ever seen was that the curly-haired drug addict guy.
I've been a three-way.
Oh, drop dead, asshole.
Oh, so you're into anal? Nice.
Oh, gross.
Like, I think I saw some episodes of that Survivor season.
Well,
so like, I knew that one.
I was gonna say he's obviously Puck from the real world.
He heard him. He said he's gonna kick my ass. Now and when I get home. Okay, you know what? I'm going up there and whooping his ass.
But none of the other ones clicked with me. Trishelle I knew, but only from like the surreal life after she was famous, and then she was in movies that we've done.
Yeah, we've heard her. You know,
Yes.
I heard about this the first time, but now it's like new again.
But like all these people, I'm like, they meant nothing to me. Like this wouldn't have been a draw for me. I assume they were famous in the shows they were on, and maybe somebody who was like, oh, I enjoyed them in reality shows. I would watch them in a bad ghost movie. And you think it's going to be like a murder movie. It's a ghost movie. Like, it's absolutely...
And it's a ghost of one of the people. Like, is the chick...
That didn't die!
But is the chick in the coma also... Well, her soul's not in her body, okay? Is she, is she a reality star too, I assume?
Yeah, everybody.
Literally everyone. Yeah, because I was going to say, because like, oh, I guess it had to be a ghost because like none of the reality stars wanted their image to be tainted by being a murderer. And then it's like, no, it is one of the people.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. There's so much.
The ghost effects are a mix of hilarious and bad. And I do love some of them. No! From like the little bits of like, oh, I'm making the bed and there's a ghost in it. To like,
whoa.
I'm eyes, like I'm the annoying orange in the wall. Like just,
oh my god. When the eyes happened and they're each seeing the eyes and he reaches out and he goes, oh, like he's touched the eye.
Yeah.
It's like gonna blink at him. And I'm like, what? And then she comes out acting all strange and he's like, what's gotten into you? And I'm like, did you not remember the eyes?
Chris, what was that?
I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on here?
Well, they seem to forget it like immediately after everything happens, and like, but they don't know what's happening from the script to how it's being filmed because the blonde guy that dies, and everyone gets these amazing like flips and weird shit, and I'm like, and a lot of them have very specific looks where I'm like, I don't know that they have a stuntman doing that, like. I think they're just throwing you into a wall because they're like, it's a reality idiot, fuck them, and just, you know, taking care of business.
We should say that like this is sort of a weird ghost thriller almost, but they put the amount of like effort that I feel in these super low budget horror films would put into a kill into, oh, he's gonna get thrown into the table and stuff. Because it's some of the only time they deviate from like the boring flat style to like set up a different camera and show like a cool shot and have a guy and do his thing, right? But yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff where it feels like stunty work. Like
he flips down the stairs.
Yes, which is like insane.
Yeah.
Like later there is like a real kind of throat slit.
But you cheated on me.
But that was the one that made it click for me, where I'm like, oh, they are like showcasing all this other crap as if it's like, these are our kills. These are our, look at that realistic stabbing.
This is for the trailer.
And the close-up. Ooh, right? Yeah, they're like
when
pushing
that
those scenes.
curly-haired dude dies, though,
Yeah.
the girl's like, I saw it. She possessed him, and then blah, blah. I'm like, but that's not what happened.
I told you. The air turned to water, then I saw her face, and then she entered him, she killed him.
Like, she straight up murdered him like a wrestler. So, like, I think the script said something different to what they filmed that day, and they never told her they did something different.
So here's the wild thing about that scene, because I liked that at first.
Okay.
Because they fuck, and it's awkward. I hate that.
You don't need those. I'm doing all the driving.
It's so awkward. I'm like, please put your
Please
shirt
stop
on.
doing
Don't do
this. Oh my god, we can't show any of this. Like, it's like fucking
DQ.
whatever. But it's just, it's so terrible. The point, because it's like, oh, look at this, kind of, and you're like, no one's enjoying this. But he starts to wander off. He does get a vision of like the ghost.
You had on the tuxedo, and what are you doing?
And later we find out it's not really controlling puppeteering possession, but it's like influencing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's out in the hallway where there's like staircase, and in my head for some reason I go, oh, right, I don't quite know the geometry of the house. There's like a little landing here where like the deepest part of the steps is like a little thing. So she's gonna be like, oh, come to me, whatever. And he's gonna and then we're just gonna see like breaking banister wood, and then ba-dum ba-dum, it's gonna cut to the chick who like just walked into the hallway screaming her like lungs out, and then he's gonna be at the bottom of the steps with a little blood coming out of his mouth, and you're gonna be like, wow, this movie sucks. But no,
it's way harder than that.
As you've alluded to, like he's an inflatable, like he's a balloon man of
hits
himself.
the wall,
she
pretty
fucking
high up on the wall too.
All this crazy stuff, yeah. It's literally like a cartoon where you grab someone and you go bong, 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 and you like bounce them around.
They do way more than you would ever expect based on the level of acting and how things are filmed and whatever. But like the script itself is just, it's not a script. It's like so bad. Like it's just, how can we make lots of people cheat? Because the moral of this is if you cheat, you die. How about like one of them's like a gym rat trainer, but he's also like poor?
I don't work. I don't get paid.
Well, my offer's still on the table.
And like some richer old lady says, I'll give you like a weirdly specific amount of money, like $2,483.
$27.50. Final offer.
If we were to bone right now, and you're like, well, yeah, she's a rich, classy old lady. They'll probably go back to a mansion. We can't afford that. How about daylight in the parking lot with the door open?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, they fuck like, I don't even know, like the way junkies would fuck.
Yeah.
Like if you lived in that car, you would fuck like that, where you just need a little more leg room or something. Like it was very strange.
Yes, baby.
I'm glad you thought
The
this was.
strangest.
I'm glad that you also thought this was strange.
It was just because we had to shoehorn as much like potential sex, nudity, or cheating as you could to make the deaths happen.
Is that hot MILF a like reality star as well?
I don't know. She might be.
What's your price for the Lux package?
She must be.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know that anybody in this was not a reality star. So. Presumably.
So that guy that walks.
She's probably like the wives of Orange County or some stupid shit, yeah.
Or it's just like throwing shade at her because she's like 35 and it's like too old. You can't be in the movie. You got to be the MILF or whatever the fuck. He also gets like assaulted by some other MILF as if like, oh, now it's just like they can smell it on him now. He's like a gun for hire.
Darling, looking scrumptious, baby. Mommy likey.
There's a guy with a tramp stamp at one point, and I'm like, oh, it's so 2005.
That's the guy. That's Seth. He has like a XXX tramp stamp.
Oh my god, it's so.
And you see him
so
in the
trampy.
shower. You see his butt and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening here? It makes so much more sense that they're all like reality.
Yeah, not
people.
real stars. Like that guy who plays the I'm burning sage. There's a murder in this house.
Yes.
That guy. Oh my God, he's such an over actor because he's not an actor. He's like it's like random guy.
Add it to the list.
What the hell?
He's just Screech from a random thing. The guy who walks up and takes the dude's chip and eats it and goes like in his face. That's a cameo from another reality guy, right? It must be.
Probably.
It must be.
I don't watch reality shows.
Can my friend Derek be in here?
I only like the few people I click because like in the IMDb description it says blah blah's first role, blah blah's first role, blah blah's first role, and like none of them are hyperlinked, so I had to like copy and paste them to see who they were. And I'm like, oh okay, that person's in this, and just like you see they're famous from this show, famous from that show, famous from that show.
I'm glad you did the fucking math on all. I did not even look, obviously. I was just like, well, it's a fake movie.
Well, like I saw this cover, and I think the back of the box says like, oh, these reality stars, and I was like, oh, that could be fun. Like, there are things to tag on Twitter when talking about this movie. Like, but honestly,
you'll retweet this, you sick bitch.
It's such a. I hope they got paid a lot, especially our ladies in this, because.
I'm worried though.
That like it's for this movie to be doing what you did.
Listen,
like
the fact that you mentioned, and I don't know any of the details, so you may fill us in here, right? That it was also meant to be a reality show about filming the horror stuff makes me think like this was just like you're getting it on the ground floor, but you gotta prove you're committed.
Yeah.
Like fuck, yeah, it's very bad.
No, heterosexual.
That sucks, man.
What was that all about?
It's very, very bad.
I don't even know if that show ever existed. It is a 2-disc DVD set. I did not explore that second disc at all because the first disc really didn't make me want to.
So the second disc is the entire season of that show.
It might be.
It's 28 episodes, fucking reality show. Yeah.
No, it's one episode. It was canceled.
It's the pilot.
Yeah.
The unaired pilot. I hope it is.
Donnie and I hooked up once. We never have since.
I'll probably fuck Tanya again.
To the house.
I'm catching secondhand embarrassment was a line that somebody said in there, and I was like, yep.
This place is skeezy. I'm catching secondhand embarrassment for you.
Look, Sethco is about to take off.
Come on.
I do love though that this person who is not dead, they're catatonic, they're in like some sort of a coma, they're like in X-Files fashion, they're leaving their body and they can do things.
I'm coming. 1 second.
But they do things that are like crazy. Like one person gets swallowed by Earth. Like
okay.
Like there's so many powers displayed here.
I forgot that was the same movie. Okay? Because way at the end, after the ghost has made it clear that like she's like tricking people and having fun, but really when it gets down to it, she'll just like beat you up. She'll throw you and stuff like that. At the very end, we have a couple arguing and like rah, they're about to get killed, and they get shot with like hot tar. Out of nowhere.
A lava lamp burst.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yeah, lava lamp, I think it is, burst.
Into lava, though.
But like, and maybe I'm crazy here and I added that in. I could have sworn it was a lava lamp and it burst and it burns them.
Right.
But they're in the house with no power. So like, it would just be a lukewarm like daytime lava lamp.
It's a ghost.
It's ghost powers.
The ghost.
But yeah, they turn black. Like they are so burned. Like Pompeii just went off.
They are smoldering. It is like Judgment Day in T2. They are just flaming husks or whatever the fuck. It is so crazy. And yes, when they got hit with all the tar, I didn't catch the lava lamp parts. I'm just like, she has tar powers now. She's just like, get him. And I'm like, well, this is a Hollywood thing. Yeah.
Like, because if you're in a relationship and you have sex with somebody else, they're not cheating. Why would they die?
I think you
just because you knew?
You need to consider perhaps that it's a ghost and it doesn't care.
I think you got to think. And follow me here.
See,
it's a ghost.
Let's time out on this one. Have you considered that it's
not even a ghost?
It's an ethereal projection.
But like the movie runs toward the end here, and our former ghost is now awake.
Where the hell is she?
I'm right here.
Like is at the house.
Shows
she
up in
like
person.
with her fingernail like rips her own throat apart.
Oh, Raina, what are you doing?
Raina, no! What are you doing? No, Raina, no!
And then the guy gets like impaled through his chest by like a banister. I don't even know what comes through his chest.
That's the poker.
It was too fat to be the poker.
No, it's like covered in like goop, and I think his heart is impaled on the poker.
It looks to be like easily as thick as like a softball at the very least.
Yes.
And it is solid all the way through.
All of the entrails wrapped around it.
Oh my god, it's just a terrible effect.
It's like a Christmas tree comes out of him. And also, because you're thinking like, well, he must fall on it. No, he's
laying down.
He's already on the ground. He has to get into like crab walk position just to have it pop out from in the middle. And I'm like, oh, did she do that? Oh, is there a ghost lady? What's happening? He got like ghost vomited into his face and he was like choking on it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it like came out of him and I'm like, did she like vomit a ghostly fire poker inside of him?
I don't know what that was supposed to be. It was ludicrous.
Yeah.
And then like you
that's
have
your money
survivors.
shot too.
Oh, for sure.
That's
your
the
survivors
one
are there.
Yeah.
There's no way to explain what just happened.
No.
They're all in jail for life.
You'd
That's
think.
just how it goes. And then Trishelle, it cuts to her as like the final scene.
Now she's the coma
and I'm
ghost.
like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
As the cycle continues, like sometimes in my notes, like as a joke for a treat, I write like the plot where I'm like, and now her revenge is complete. And I remember being like, this doesn't even make sense in this case. She didn't win.
Is she possessed by like the girl's ghost? Is this now her turn for revenge? Like, what are we to believe here? And I don't think the person that writes this knows.
Yeah, I think someone just said, like the way you're supposed to end these things is like, now it's gonna happen again. You zoom out and all the houses have aliens or whatever, some fucking thing. But like, did not think about it at all. Where I'm like,
it doesn't make any sense.
She wasn't killed in like a fit of jealous rage. She was killed by the coma ghost. From the first time you killed something, right? Why would it spread to her?
She would come back and she would, if movie ever happened, she now comes back. She has a seance, brings back the first ghost, and gets to. There's a part where someone is taking, who knows? She knows it's a ghost, and she goes in with a gun, and she's trying to kill a ghost.
She's fighting a ghost. She ends up shooting at this blanket. And it's like, yes, I wrote that in my notes too, where I'm like, but this time she's come prepared. Not with an amulet, not with some sage, not with anything. No, she's strapped and she's like, fuck you. And she gets her ass kicked. The blanket like wraps around her. This is actually stuff where I'm like, oh, you were like doing something here. Where like it
has a weird translucent, like it's glowing to a point. Like it has a look to it.
This is, don't tell anyone I said this, all right? Just between you and me.
I wouldn't tell anybody.
It reminded me of like the effects in like the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It's kind of like glowing weird or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know how they achieved it, but yeah, there's something interesting happening.
They took like a shortcut and it didn't work properly, but I'm like, that's the vibe. And to have like this weird ethereal blanket like wrap around her and then like slam her on the ground, I was like, oh, okay. Now it's only been over an hour. I'm glad I finally got something that I can enjoy out of this movie.
Oh, yeah, the ghost like burns the fire poker out of her hand. She's like, run under hot water,
Show your face, you unholy bitch!
And like that's when it's like, oh, she's so crazy. This is so terrible. And then you have proof. That's when you prove it, right?
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes into the
well,
movie.
and like, why are you still in this house? Never go back. And it doesn't matter because the ghost isn't trapped to the house.
They put that in there where it's like, are we really supposed to sleep here at night after all this? And he goes, what are our options, babe? Like, we have to, or some stupid fucking little thing.
Jen, this is only for the summer, so I can save money for us.
But the most unintentionally funny thing to me that I did rewind, the only thing, was there's a point where they're having like lunch, and one of the chicks says something like, well, if she was like trying to get pregnant, she wouldn't be bragging about her Nuva ring or something like that. She like tells a joke.
Yeah, I don't think that was Jennifer's plan since she's been bragging about her Nuva ring.
And then the other person pulls the chair back, and it gets like caught on something, and it kind of goes, dun, like it's about to go, dun, like it's about to make like a little fucking thing. And I was like, did that just happen? And I rewound it. And I'm like, the timing here is impeccable. This is perfect.
Bragging about her Nuva ring.
There was a part where they're like on the beach and like the girl's like line was like, oh, I took him, he's gay, don't worry about him, blah, blah, blah. And our boy like sees a magazine and he's like, oh, and like trying to snatch it from some lady and the guy like playing out like, hey, get out of here.
What's up?
That's my girlfriend.
No, that's my wife.
No.
Yo,
Colin, please don't start this again.
Christy, back it up.
Chill out, guys.
What's the problem?
That's my girlfriend. like, but he's talking about the magazine.
It's a weird scene.
I'm like, are those celebrities too? Like, who the fuck are these idiots?
The answer to all of our questions now is that's a cameo from like a lesser, or someone who was like, I'll give you one day. I'll be in one
The answer is everybody in the movie is either a reality star or part of the crew.
just a random passerby. They were like, hey, you want to be in a movie? Well, you already are. Fucking say this. Oh my God, you're filming them. Yeah.
It's hot. I'm not paying extra for it.
Your mom pays extra for it.
Filthy whore.
When he goes like, and he's telling the kids his story, he's like, I made a mistake. I got with this girl, blah, 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 blah. He's fucking filming it. Like, it's the most premeditated
really
mistake you could possibly make.
Oh, Nicola.
Matt?
Ready?
Yeah. When he's like telling his story of cheating, no one mentions the footage. And, and then he's watching it later. This guy gets set up as a really like bad person or whatever.
Yeah. Well, he has a scar on his face, so you know he's evil.
He's been made evil by the scar.
I told you to never come here again, man.
Maybe I couldn't hear you over her screams.
He kills that fucking hippie guy with a fishbowl in the most like, I'm like, oh, there's no, you're a horrible murderer.
No,
like, why are you killing this man?
Listen, like this is another point where I feel like it just brushed up against like a real movie. When the cop calls and is like, I have some troubling news. Can I call you Matt? And he's like covered in blood and he's yeah, whatever, officer, what's up?
Sorry to disturb you tonight. You mind if I call you Matt?
No worries, what's up?
We have a situation down here at the hospital.
No, we're good. We're good. He's like just from like bludgeoning this thing. I'm like, all right, he's a sociopath. He's cool. He's able to like turn on.
But the cop is calling him because he's like, oh, your ex-girlfriend.
She's missing.
She's no longer in the hospital. I'm like, why would they call him about that? Who the fuck cares?
She's gone missing, Matt. Where is she? Well, I'd like to talk about that. If you could come down here to the hospital and answer some questions for me.
Like, he's not even like her husband. Like, that's a boyfriend. I don't think he would get called at all.
That's interesting.
It's also been like 10 years.
There'd be like next of kin and different things that happen. I mean, even if he is the one to get called, like the hospital's just calling the cops instead of calling him. Like they would call him, I think, first.
I don't know.
To be like, what's going on?
I don't think the police would give two shits. Like, oh, there's a missing person. Okay.
We're all missing, honey. Call back when you got some real crime.
This is like, oh, I go to visit her a few times a week. I had to move closer to the hospital. Like, I'm like, fuck you.
It's not nearly enough, though. I moved a couple blocks away to try and make it a little easier.
Stupid bachelor idiot.
If only that was going somewhere, right? I don't even know what I thought in the middle when I was like, oh, I better remember these details in case they come back.
I don't get why they even chased after her. Like, oh, we had to make sure to murder her. Like, what?
Rita! No!
She's trying to leave. Let her leave. You're cheating on her. Let her leave.
And she dies in this little like kidney bean pool.
She like randomly looks in it and then like, and like jumps into it real slow.
No, because you might scrape your shin if you fall into a tiny pool.
Yeah.
You can't, no one's paying for that.
I hope they got paid well.
I know where you live!
Kirsten, what the hell are you doing?
I did also like how when you see those smoldering corpses, it's over the voicemail, you finally hear Seth's, "This is Sethco headquarters, and but I'm already dead, fuck off," whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's like, hey, we're like showing, we're not telling or whatever.
No one is available to take your call. Please try again later.
You suck, Seth!
And then, like, in the next scene, the people who were calling go to that house, and she finds the bodies, but now the audience has already seen it, so we have to watch her go, "Oh my God!" And I'm like, who the fuck, what happened here?
Or that cringy party at the house, oh, these people are far too old to be doing this party.
Excuse me, everybody. I have an announcement. Hey, shut the fuck up!
And he does the fucking thing like, hey, everybody, wait, announcement to make. This guy's a party pooper, boo!
He's got sand in his vagina.
Oliver's got sand in his vag and says the party's over.
They throw like 100 of the exact same plastic cup at him or whatever. It's, you can feel the production value. It really sings.
10 out of 10. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
I need to think about dead kittens until my girlfriend gets back.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinion.